Everyone knows how useful GPS is in everyday life. Simply grab your phone, tap it, and you can easily find your friend's favorite cafe, stream your own location, or even catch some Pokemon. Modern sensor technology is a great thing. However, in buildings it is impossible to use GPS. This is why additional infrastructure is required to locate people inside, and due to their expensive nature, such systems are unappealing. And this is where the project ZaVI enters the stage. ZaVI's research topic is state estimation solely based on prior knowledge and inertial sensors. Every modern smartphone has a variety of different sensors for different situations. For location, there's not only a GPS sensor, but an acceleration and turn rate sensor as well. These two combined are called inertial sensor. To put it simply, the inertial sensor measurements allow us to calculate the orientation and velocity, and consequently the position of the sensor. What could go wrong? The measurements of inertial sensors are relatively precise. However, over longer periods of time, small measurement errors affect the position calculation dramatically. Think of it as you walking around in your flat with closed eyes. The longer you walk, the more you lose your way. Losing its position just like you, the sensor might calculate that you passed through the wall. And even if you are aware that it's not possible, the sensor doesn't know. Well, sensors are not that smart in the end, but we may be able to teach them. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night from your swelling appetite. The walk to your fridge is short, and turning on the light is more of a burden than helping. You're almost blind, but knowing your flat you can roughly move between the obstacles. With the map in your head you walk your path and estimate where you are. From every little input you can get, you easily find your way through. So, can we somehow teach the inertial sensor to act like you? And that is exactly what we try to achieve in ZaVI. By using the knowledge about the area and the movement pattern of the sensor carrier, we exclude implausible and irrational positions from the possible paths of the inertial sensor. And since we acquired the knowledge before we even measure, we call it prior knowledge. With this, the calculated position draws closer to the real position of the sensor. The accuracy of such a procedure is not perfect, but additional hardware is not required anymore. This doesn't only save costs. The distribution of this kind of technology in smartphone apps would be rather easy too. There is a plethora of scenarios where prior knowledge can improve the measurements of inertial sensors. In each of those, we can investigate two common sources of knowledge: how the environment is structured and how you move inside of it. And that's it. Our sensor finally knows how to use prior knowledge, and suddenly, everything is possible. Location-based services like audio guides in museums could simply be downloaded as an app. Buildings could illuminate where you are without the need for proximity sensors. And most importantly, indoor navigation in shopping malls, storehouses and office buildings would be possible with smartphones alone. Unfortunately, this is still science fiction. It's not always possible to exclude enough wrong paths for the correct ones to shine through. Using prior knowledge, it is fairly easy to locate the inertial sensor in a narrow room. Most of the false paths can be rejected. In a bigger room, the prior knowledge does not allow the rejection of enough paths. The position gets worse and worse over time. Furthermore, we can't find a general solution for every situation we may face. There are just too many of them. This leads to a simple but fundamental question for every scenario. Is it possible to exclude enough paths and positions to achieve reasonable accuracy? What you should take away is that it's not always possible to predict whether the combination of an inertial sensor with prior knowledge suffices to find the correct position. Figuring out in which cases it works is the goal of ZaVI. And one day, we might work out whether ZaVI is theoretical dreamery or a practical approach to step into an era of smart sensors.